Kalyani Kuswirkar from first year PGDM batch 21-23. I welcome you all to this event of Masterstroke 9.0. To tell you in brief about this event, it is a platform wherein we invite our alumni from the healthcare sector and get to know what is the real life world scenario out there of the industry. See, the healthcare industry is growing really fast, very rapidly today. The market is open globally and it has a lot of scope in the coming future. With the overarching schemes of Government of India, such as National Digital Health Mission, the increasing demand of healthcare, there are going to be a lot of jobs present in this healthcare sector in the future. We all want to start our careers in the same direction, but we do not know how to start. How do we start this career? Where to lead our career? What exactly is the real life scene out there in the industry? We do not know all these questions. So who do we ask? Who better than our own alumni? IIHMR has seen some notable alumni in the past. They are the key to our institution's growth. Today, we are going to interact with two of such brilliant alumni from IIHMR Bangalore. I am profoundly delighted to welcome Dr. Vaishnavi and Ms. Anushri to this event today. Let's see about their introduction. Can you please move to the next slide? To talk about Ms. Anushri Sureen, she is working in Zepigo as a program officer. She completed her PGDM in hospital management in 2013 from IIHMR Bangalore and BSc Nursing in 2009 from Viswas College of Nursing. She started her professional journey with RK Hospitals Bangalore. She is master trainer for emergency and disaster risk management, family planning at Zepigo. Next slide, please. Our second guest of honor today is Dr. K Vaishnavi Reddy. She is working at Amsterdam Healthcare as head of quality. She is a healthcare professional with an experience in all aspects of hospital and home care management. She spearheaded India's first JCI accreditation in home healthcare. She has completed her PGDM in hospital management in 2013 from IIHMR Bangalore after finishing her dentistry. I welcome you both to this event, Anushri ma'am and Vaishnavi ma'am. I hope you are very much glad as we are to come back to the home ground, that is IIHMR Bangalore.
Yeah, it is a proud moment to be called after 9 years.
Yes, we are also very much delighted to be talking with you here, ma'am.
Yeah.
So we have prepared few questions. We want your answers for them. Let's start with first question. And my first question is to Dr. Vaishnavi. See, we all are here from a dental background. So this is the question I'm asking on behalf of a lot of my friends. That what influenced you to pursue your career in PGDM or management sector after completing dentistry?
Okay. Thank you, Kalyani, for a very warm welcome. It's a pleasure and honor to be on the other side of it. I'm going to say a few years back, we are on the other side of it. And today we are on the other way around answering all your questions. We had similar kind of questions, but you know, the world was very different then and the world is very different today. We had face-to-face interaction. I'm going to say if things would have been better, we would have been in the institute answering all your questions. But I understand with the current situation, things are very different. Yes, but this is a virtual world where connectivity, I'm going to say you can have much more people interacting across the globe and all. Yes, so starting, in terms of getting into IIHMR and being a dentist, how was the journey? I'll take you through. I'm going to say, yes, we know a lot of dentists into, I'm going to say, healthcare management field today. I believe all of you will agree the kind of challenges that the dentists have after BDS, the pay scales are low and, a lot of saturation, too many clinics, too much of competition across. And then, then you try to do all your research around what next. And, you get to know, management is the thing that you would want to do. And, what happens is typically with the medical background, with a lot of, vocabulary that with the amalgamation of the clinical skills and the management profession that you want to take. It gives best opportunities, not only in terms of selecting the career as a healthcare manager, but also you become the face of many organization when you do really well in the industry. And this gives a lot of cutting edge when a clinician with a managerial thing get into industry. So that's how a lot of research, lot of alumni doing well with a dental background has allowed me to take the the course at IIHMR. And you always need to take certain amount of calculated risk that you take, and when you do really well, it gets appreciated.
True, ma'am. Our clinical skills do come in handy when we are working in a hospital. I agree that. Thank you, ma'am. So similar question to Anushri, ma'am, that what influenced you to pursue your hospital management degree after completing nursing?
I think Vaishnavi already answered those. Because as a nursing student, you don't have much of scope beyond if you are in the clinical field, then the scopes are very limited. You are mostly at the service point of the forefront, as you say. So there is not, with the positions come the pay. And yes, those are also very limited in our field. And along with that, some amount of self-esteem is also related to it. Yes, you will be in a position where you will be looked down upon, and you won't be able to present yourself, your skills also, your knowledge also, and those are very limited. So management gives you a scope to come up front and take the lead and decide what you have to do and what happens in that in the whole area. So that the part is there. And mostly at that point of time, maybe 10 years later back, when we had those things, I think in our class we just had 2 or 3 Android sets in our hands. Only 2 or 3 students had those. So the area was very limited. The circle was very limited back then. And we had the same point of view that what has to be done and who shall we look up to. So those were there. But yes, we took a risk and we are into the battle right now.
Yes, true, ma'am. We are also looking forward, looking at you guys. We are also, very much inspired to do well in the industry. Second question is about your industry, ma'am. Vaishnavi ma'am is working in Aster DM and you are working in Zetaigo. Both are very beautiful companies to work with. What is your take on the industry, your own industries? If Vaishnavi ma'am can start.
Okay, so I started my career.
We are not able to hear you well, ma'am.
Kalyani, am I audible?
You were not, now you are, ma'am. You can please repeat whatever you said.
Okay. Okay. I started my career with hospitals. I started my career with Columbia Group of Hospitals, where I asked to manage operations, that is, IPDs, OPDs, health checks and all. Further, I moved on. I was on a career break for a couple of years because of my personal reasons. And then I started my career with Portia. Portia, if I think a couple of people know, home health care. And then moved on to Aster DM healthcare, where I spearhead units in India. So if I talk about home healthcare, it's one of the most emerging healthcare systems that is coming up. And home healthcare is, I would say, it's completely different in terms of the kind of care that you deliver and the kind of services that you deliver. It is an upcoming model into the healthcare industry. When we started our career, we just knew, hospitals and public health. Now, if you look at, there's a lot of scope: digital health, telehealth, teleradiology, home healthcare. So a lot of verticals coming up into healthcare. So I am into home healthcare. And the way that home healthcare is looked at, it's a huge market, lot of players, but lots of structured and unstructured players. Yes, there's a long way to go into home healthcare in terms of a lot of new things coming up, but a lot of area where people can look into, and there are a lot of job opportunities that you people can look into in the near future.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Anushri, ma'am?
Yeah, see, public health, in public health, you mostly look up to career in nationalized programs, the government side of it. So it was never a preference for me to go into that because I knew how the government systems work and how things are done there. So it was at the back seat. I always wanted to be in hospitals because I've seen that. I used to work there, and that was already what I had in vision. So I started off with that, but then got to know that it's very different inside also. And I think I wanted to do something meaningful which could have a better impact in others' life as well as mine. So public health was a natural choice after that, and I went ahead with that, and it's been a beautiful journey. Because as a student, when you start, if you take some big names in public health, then you already know that WHO, UNICEF, Paigo, these are the brand names which you always look up to when you are in the public health field. So I gave a lot of interviews. Even after passing out, I think I have given 3 or 5 interviews for Japaigo. 4 interviews to be specific, and I was never able to make it. So it was rather very disappointing that why aren't they taking me up? What is the lacuna in me? So but I never lost hope and kept on trying. So things worked out eventually, and today I am here, and it's been the maximum time I've spent here. But before that, I got to work with some of the regional NGOs and also the localized ones, whose approaches were also very good. I got to learn a lot from them. And yes, because you have a very the constraints of financial constraints are there with the localized NGOs. You get to know how to work with limited resources and have a better impact. So those are the things which we learn on the field. When you are out there, you will get to know a lot of stuff, because till today, as a student, the visions are very, very superficial. You can't estimate what you are going to land upon. And this all happens, and finally, by God's grace, I'm here.
Yes, ma'am. Hearing to both of your stories, it is clear that success stories only come after hardships. You have to go through them, then only success will come. It's not a quick fix at all. So naturally, next question that I want to ask is, ma'am, that how we students at IIHMR, we can, pave our ways into this career options. What is your suggestion for us? Vaishnavi, ma'am?
Yeah, in terms of career options, if I have to tell, students these days are very smart. They know things much better. They do a lot of research, a lot of in LinkedIn, and I mean to say, I'm amazed. So many students are getting connected through LinkedIn, and am I audible?
Ma'am, your voice is breaking a bit. I think it's a network connectivity issue.
Okay,
there.
Is it better? Yeah, is it better now?
Better now? Better now? Yeah, it is better now. Yes.
Okay. Some connectivity issue, I believe. So,
yes.
Students nowadays are very smart. If I have to say, you do a lot of research. You have every information that you want around on the platters. I mean to say, Google, LinkedIn, tell me what not you have. I mean to say, LinkedIn. I started using LinkedIn after I actually started my professional when they're students. I mean to say when they have just joined PGDHM. So that's where I'm coming from. See, in terms of IHMR helping you out in developing your career, It's a beautiful place. You get extremely well exposed to the industry in terms of, the curriculum is designed so beautifully, where you are taught the skills of management with the basic subjects, and how do you integrate those subjects with the, healthcare delivery systems, specifically for healthcare delivery, the model of healthcare delivery, and, the basic delivery systems of healthcare in India. And when we started, we didn't knew much. We knew only hospital and healthcare. But right from 2013, I'm going to say a lot of options have opened up, in terms of, digital healthcare, a lot of startups coming up, and, COVID has been a blessing in disguise for healthcare. If not, yeah, lot of new startups, on a lot of fundings for the healthcare startups, and the upcoming budget also, we are expecting a huge funding for the healthcare delivery system. So Niti Aayog, so many things that the government is doing across. So I'm sure that, healthcare industry is going on a tremendous pace, and it is expected to grow. I mean to say, this is one of the fastest growing industry, if I have to say. A lot of job openings for sure for all of them. And health is a thing, recession proof industry. If I have to say the other way around, it is a recession proof industry. And so I'm sure that, a lot of openings for all of you coming. And IIHMR has a track record, 100% placements across
Yes.
all the years.
Yes. It feels so great to hear all these things. Anushree ma'am?
Yeah, I think ICMR gives a lot of exposure because the internships which we went through made us aware of what we are going to step into. So that was a very beautiful platform, as in you get to know what you are in future going to work with. So those are all things. And yes, because since there are a lot of exposure to other fields of like dentists are there, you said MBBS will be there, some biotech people will be there. From nursing background, a lot of students come in. So the whole environment is like giving you exposure and making you aware of all the fields which are around you. So it's a very good platform, and it prepares you for what you are going for in future. But yes, I would also say it just gives you a very superficial view of what you have. At end of the day, what you have to work upon is making contacts with people, and updating
Correct.
yourself in healthcare system, because it is a changing environment. The things change very quickly in the healthcare systems, I feel. And you need to update yourself on the skills, on the new technologies or the updates which are happening all around you, even in the field of research, if you see, for that matter. Yes, there is a lot of work which has to be done post what you have learned from IHMR. But yes, IHMR gives a very good platform for making you know all this stuff beforehand.
So listening to your conversation, ma'am, I came up with two questions. First is you mentioned about your internship. So please tell us about your internship and the course curriculum that is there in IIHMR. And meanwhile, to the participants, I hope I've already received one question from Arun Kumar. All of you, you can post your questions in the chat box. We'll take it in the midway somewhere. Vaishnavi ma'am, can you please tell us about your
Sure.
yeah.
In terms of course curriculum, as I said, it gives you a holistic idea of the various basic principles of management, basic subjects, along with healthcare subjects. I mean, and how do you use them in healthcare delivery models? In terms of internship, what we do is, the IHMR gives us a first line of live projects that we do as internships in hospitals or in public health projects. After first year, we are given an internship of 2 months. These are like live projects that we do in the hospitals. And after second year, we do internship of 4 months in the hospitals. where you do live projects under, experienced professionals in the hospitals. And this gives a lot of first-hand information, what exactly happens on the field. Apart from that, it also gives you the freedom to make choices, make judgment of what you really want to do. And apart from that, IHMR has given a lot of exposure to the best faculties, in terms of apart from the faculty who are there in house, we have been trained by the faculty specifically who are have a rich exposure of the particular subject in the industry, and they come for sessions where they take a modules for 10 or 15 days, so that you get industry expertise at all points of time.
Yes, ma'am, I cannot agree more. Yes, it's been 6 months that I've joined IIHMR, and not a single week has been passed that I have not seen a new industry specialist, and they have given us beautiful lectures till now. So yes, that is there in IIHMR, definitely. Anushri ma'am, can you please tell your opinion?
Yeah, see, internship are a very important part, because actually you get to work alone on something, some project which you take up of your interest and then work upon it. So getting a good mentor is also very important in this period, because he or she might be the one who will in future motivate you, or he will be the person who you'll be able to, you'll want to imbibe the qualities from him. So finding a good place to work is important, and to decide your future and make up your mind for it. Yes, the ICMR has a lot of exposure. We went to field visits, both hospitals and the public health side. I got to work with KSHR So my mentor was Dr. Mohan Raju, and he was a very nice person. And the 3 months which I spent there, I got to learn a lot from him. The kind of dedication which is needed in the front end, the research and analytical part of it. Those are things which we never get to apply in the student life, right? Even though experts are coming, even though people are coming, the 3 months which you spend outside, where you are left alone, and you're finding and researching on things. Yes, though that is a very important part, and both after first year and second year also, it is an important part, I say.
Okay, to all my batchmates, listen carefully. We have to work very hard in the internships. Okay, so I'll go to the chat box now. If you can read the question by Arun Kumar. He's saying, hello ma'am, I'm from medicine background. I have few doubts whether I should do PGDM in healthcare management or general MBA from IIMs. What will be the job profile for them who have done PGDM and MBA from IIMs? And can you please tell me more about Masters in Hospital Management? So anybody can take up the question. Vaishnavi ma'am or Anushri ma'am?
Okay. So currently in the industry, there are few hand-picked organizations that give you hospital management MBAs and PGDHMs. And if I have to say the other way around, there are people, IHMR is recognized in the industry as one of the best products, if I have to say, that they give to the industry. And tell out any other names, any big organization names, you will have an alumni of IHMR. The networking is so strong. And if there are few government notifications that come, if you have been seeing them across, they specifically say that they want IHMR students, like NRHM Gujarat, NRHM. There are few government projects that they're very keen. They specifically write IHMR. It's like what you call, these are the pioneers of healthcare delivery. I mean, say creating healthcare best healthcare managers in the country. So that's where I'm coming out from. IHMR is a first choice for healthcare management courses.
True. Anything you want to say, Anushri ma'am?
I feel that it's mostly upon your interest, what you want to do.
Correct.
Because our IHMR might has a very good placement cell. I think a lot of people have been placed in beautiful places and very high salaries also they have achieved. So it is very good in that matter. And IIM, I say, see, people studying there have a different aspirations in life. Uh, Most of the people make their own startups later in life. You never know. You start off as a employee, and then maybe someday you realize that this is not what I wanted, and maybe I'll start something of my own. So that's always the scope is always there. So I would say it's mostly your calling, what you feel that you want to do with your life, and both the places are in the leading in the industry. So there is no doubt about that. That which way do you want to go? Both are good, and it's mostly what you want with you, like what you want to get.
So I think Arun Kumar, you get your answer that it depends upon your choice. Both are the pioneers in the industry. Depends upon your choice. So second question is by Javela Pyers. She's asking about the opportunities in healthcare IT and which are the companies that visit under the campus placements. So just tell us about the healthcare ITs, ma'am. There are many people who get confused between public health or hospital or health IT. So if you can just enlighten us on that question.
So as Anushri was saying, it's like what is what is that you're looking out for? What is your passion to do? I mean to say, technically, IT jobs. If you want to do IT, you should have that inclination to do. There might be people who go to in IT sector and eventually they find that that is not a right fit for them. So it is typically the choice that they want to make, what they want to get into: hospitals, healthcare, pharmaceutical, IT, whatever. And a lot of companies do come for IHMR placement. I know that typically Dell always comes, Deloitte, Cognizant, these all do come for campus placement. But as rightly said by Anushri, it's a choice that you have to make, and what is that you want looking out for. I'm going to say you need to define what your goals are, what are you looking out for, and then make choices on it.
Yes. So, Joella, I think you can find the companies that visit under campus in the prospectus as well. It is written on the IHMR page, and I think they've answered your question. So, next question I want to ask you, ma'am, on a lighter tone, how was your journey at IHMR Bangalore? We are enjoying the offline sessions right now, but how was the online journey? Any memories if you can share from your college days?
Yeah. I mean to say, we had a lot of activities. I mean to say, I know you would be missing all of them. We
Yes.
were lucky enough to have all of them. We had a lot of group activities, role plays, and we had all the cultural fests also happening. We had Dandiya night. I'm sure that Anushri remembers that. We had Dandiya nights, New Year, Christmas. We used to celebrate all of those. Apart from that, I still remember we had uniform. We had uniforms when we started, and the day we got uniforms, oh God, we the entire day we were just trying on those uniforms and taking pictures of it. No classes. We were so excited, to have that attire. We had a blazer, a shirt, and a trouser. The entire day was the photo shoot on that uniforms. So I still remember all those beautiful moments that we had in the college. And, staff has been so supportive during the entire journey. And, placement was the next big thing for us, how butterflies in tummies of everybody, what is coming, and which placement you sit for, what is the package, everybody gearing up. So I'm going to say really a good time. It's always good on the, I'm going to say, it's beautiful to be a beautiful journey of to be a student and a learner. I would always say a beautiful journey is always on the other side. That is the student life.
Correct, ma'am. That is very true. Anushri, ma'am, your memories.
Yeah, I knew Vaishnavi would bring up the uniform thing. So I still have my uniform with me.
Wow. That is incredible. Wow.
I knew this would be a proud moment, because the blazers and the limelight which we got on that day, I think that is incomparable. Whenever I feel that I need something, some enthusiasm in life, this T-shirt gives me a lot of enthusiasm. That's my part. Yeah, if people remember, if students, some of the juniors and seniors remember me, I was basically not very good at the academics, not very bright one. But yes, I used to play a lot, and the badminton court which you have in, I don't know whether it is there still or it is not there, but we used to play badminton within the premises. So that was my place, and uh, by 4:30 I was there, and yeah, it has been a very memorable place. Apart from studies, we used to have so much fun. I don't know whether the competition was there or not, but still, that point of time, we all felt together and relieved of all the things which were going on around us. Placements were tough. Placements were like uh, so competitive. Yeah, everybody were like became butchers around you. So how much are you getting? Where did they go in? So all these things were going on, but ultimately you keep some good friends out of it. Yes, it's been 10 years and I have some very nice friends, very strong friendships which have been going on, and there are people who have shared their experiences and their company profiles. And yes, one of my friends, like I told you, a lot of things are useful when you make contacts with people. Now, even now, when we in public health, there are similar organizations which we work for, and those friendships which you made then now work for it.
Yes.
You get to know about what is going on there, and then you get to learn from them. So socializing is an important part. Making friends are important. I don't know
True, ma'am.
for how it worked or not, but for me it did.
I think it works for everybody, ma'am. 500 plus connections on LinkedIn will not help you, but your true friends will. I think that is true. So that brings me to another question, ma'am. What are the important skills that we need to focus on? And one question in the chat box on the similar note, that can you please mention some extra certified courses that we should go ahead for, which are beneficial for us in the future?
Okay, so in terms of courses, what I would like to say is, if somebody is inclined towards, quality and these kind of things, you do Six Sigma, green belt, yellow belt, and all. It depends what is that you're looking at. If somebody is interested more towards IT and all of that, then you should be doing something on project management. I mean to say, whatever is your inclination, you need to take up those courses. And there's a lot of free material available. Apart from that, there are few certifications also available. There are a couple of courses on project management. There are a couple of courses on all PMPs, project management courses. For quality, there are a lot of certification courses that are available from Indian Institute of Sciences on Six Sigma green belt. So all these depends on the kind of profile you are looking out for.
Okay. Anushi, ma'am?
Uh, See, courses like mostly it depends on what field you're working in. Like if I do the Six Sigma course for quality, for me it won't matter much because I won't get to use it anywhere in my career. So mostly it depends on what you are doing at present or which field you are in. So associated courses to that, and you'll get to know when you land up there. You'll get to know what you require to move ahead in life, what you require to move ahead in your career. As a medical professional, I would say publishing is a very important part. If you have published papers or if you are researching on few stuffs, yes, it will be very, very beneficial. And the updation which you get while working through this, it's important as in more in public health, because you still are in touch with the medical skills which you have learned maybe 10-15 years back. So we also have some in-house courses which our companies also provide. So regular updation takes on, and mostly depends on your company which you are landing up into. Time is also important, because after working for 8 or 9 hours in a day, it's very difficult to come back and study something. And it's the management of time is really important, and if you get it through your company, it is like add on.
I think they have lost the
Yes,
connection.
no,
Okay.
no, I'm there, ma'am. So, next question is asked by Joel, that what are the specializations that are available in the program other than hospital administration, and possible job profiles under each specialization?
Okay. If at current, if I'm not wrong, IIHMR Bangalore is offering, full-time PGDHM for hospital, healthcare. I mean to say hospital, public health, and pharmaceutical and healthcare IT.
Yes.
So the kind of profiles that should be available is typically from the hospital industry. You would be whenever the placements are happening, typically you will get jobs in terms of marketing, business, operations, quality. These are the kind of jobs that you will be having in terms of hospital or home health care, and all of these kind of jobs. When it comes to public health, there are a lot of NGOs, if I'm not wrong, NGOs who come up. And apart from that, government projects like NRHM, WHO, UNICEF, all of these come up. When it comes to healthcare IT, a lot of IT companies come for the placement. Like I already said, Dell, Deloitte, Cognizant, all of these companies come up. When it comes to pharmaceutical industry, it's one of the, I'm going to say, next big industry, which I'm going to say just doing very well. So a lot of pharmaceutical companies also do come up for market strategy, marketing, analytics, and all of these kind of roles.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Next question is for Anushri, ma'am. So Monami is asking that that you had 5 years of experience before joining the MBA. So she is also from nursing background, and the question is that she doesn't have much experience. So while placement or while working, does the experience matters? That is her question.
Yeah, it does matter a lot. A lot in public health, maybe a bit in hospital management. A lot in public health, which I say, because mostly nurses will be landing up into, if you're working in UNICEF or WHO, you'll be landing up into the technical part of it. You'll always be associated with what you learned back in college, in your graduation, or your internships which you did back then. So it is very important, and keeping in touch and reading is very important. Like I almost forgot what obstetrics was when I was at IHMR, and I thought it is not necessary for me to learn anymore, because now I'll be a manager. I'll be looking into papers, and I'll be looking at the data. I'll be doing analysis. I don't need to learn all that. But then when I stepped into Japaigo, it was completely different part. You need to know your pediatrics. You need to know your obstetrics, and you need to know it very well. The updated ones. So it is very important, and keep in touch with all those things.
Okay, that brings me to another question from the chat box, ma'am. That one, Anshul Agarwal, she's from commerce background, so she doesn't have much experience in the healthcare field. So she's asking, could you guide me something in making my ground strong in healthcare?
Okay. See, what happens is background really at all points don't matter. It's, doing, there is nothing right and wrong. It is, doing right things. I mean to say that can add value to the system as a whole. And, I mean to say, typically you will have to explore the best out of whatever you have. So, if you're from a commerce background, you can do a lot of stuff in hospitals still, in terms of revenue cycle management for the hospitals, insurance, and business operations. So typically, when a medical graduate can run the entire hospital, why not a commerce guy run the financial bit of the entire hospital? So I mean to say, we also, when if I'm not wrong, in the second year we have finance management and all of that as subjects. So there is nothing right and wrong. I mean to say, you need to, whatever you do, you need to add certain kind of value to the system wherever you are in, so that you create the value for the organization as a whole. And you are taking a lot of it from the organization as well.
Okay. So Anushri ma'am, one question to you, that you have now opted for public health domain, right?
Yes.
So what are the skills that you've learned from IIHMR Bangalore? Because you have specialization in hospital. So what are the skills that you had here that helped you in the public health sector domain?
Research was very important subject. I think research we have very limited, but then it was important for coming into the field. I feel now it is very applicable. We see a lot of data coming in from the fields, and we have to do some analysis, and then presentations are based on that. So for me, that could be the most important part. And uh, maybe I already said that the publishing and all, you need to be aware of it. In public health, it really matters.
True. So Vaishnavi ma'am, one more question to you, that both of you, you are very good in the interpersonal talking skills and the leadership skills that I can really see. So definitely IIHMR Bangalore has helped you in that. So your take on that first. And secondly, how it helped you pave your own career prospect in the healthcare industry, all these skills.
Okay. When we started, I mean to say, around for 1 month, we had a soft skill trainer who used to come to the organization. And, we were taught on law. I exactly don't remember his name. He was a perfect trainer. He taught us so many things,
Jamuna
what is
ma'am.
the, huh?
Jamuna ma'am.
Not Jamuna ma'am. Some external faculty, Anushri. For 1 month, he trained us on communication, interpersonal communication, grooming, how to be assertive, how do others think, role modeling. We did all of this for 1 year. I mean, for 1 month. That was an induction period for us. External faculty with, a lot of things. And when we were sitting for the placements, we had a trainer for 15 days. Okay. She taught us how to get groomed, how to sit for the, I mean to say, sit for the interview. What are the things that you should be saying? What are the things you should not be saying? How to sit, how to greet, what you should be wearing. So we were taught on all these things. Okay. And a lot of things apart from IHMR, when you really go to the industry, you learn. And every organization has a different culture. Every organization has a different culture. If I go to hospital, the culture is very different from when I go to a startup. Every organization has a very different culture. And the way you just have to adapt to the changes in terms of each organization you go to, and keep learning. I mean to say, once you think you have learned everything, then there is no scope for you to improve, right? Learning is it's an endless journey. You keep learning and you keep growing. That's what I can say.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. So Dr. Sarla ma'am has messaged that his name was Madhya.
Madhya, I think so.
Madhya. Sorry. Yeah, Madhya. She has replied.
Yeah.
Yes.
His name was Madhya. He took us through the entire phase for 1 month. I mean, say, you see a different perspective of yourself each day after interacting with him.
Right. So one more question now from the pharmacy graduates. There are two questions. So they are heading to the PGDM course. One person is asking if there are any specific specializations available after PGDM. After doing PGDM, any specializations that they can do. And the second question, similarly from pharmacy background, is they want to know if they have to choose hospital management or pharmaceutical management. So one question each you can take, please.
In terms of pharmacy, if I have to say, if typically the person is very inclined towards his, he wants to be into the pharmacy thing only, he can take up pharmacy, and further, you can join pharmaceutical companies and you can grow. In terms of there are a lot of business and business analytics and all that they do, particularly in the pharma business, and a lot of you have seen a lot of companies like Tata, Farm Tata 1mg, MedLife, all these are pharmaceutical companies. They can be taking up this as well as the roles. And if they want to join into, if they want to explore more in terms of, hospitals, these people can get into hospitals, take up pharmacy department. In hospitals, there is not only one pharmacy, there are multiple pharmacies. You have IP pharmacy, OP pharmacy, OT pharmacy. They can be taking up these kind of roles in the hospitals also, and do these kind of roles as well. So it's typically the choice that they're inclined towards, what they want to do in terms of they want to get into a pharmacy industry and in hardcore pharmacy, or get into hospitals and do pharmacy roles.
So I think that answers two, three people have asked the same question, that should we choose pharmacy or hospital? So that depends upon your interest. That is the answer. So Anushri ma'am, can you take this question, that after doing PGDM, is there any specialization course that is we can go for?
I think IIHMR Jaipur has started the PhD programs right now.
Yes.
I'm not very well aware of it, but then yes, you can go for other courses as well, and add on to this what you are pursuing right now. So a lot of scope, but then what you want is more important, because if you study, then yes, PhD means you'll naturally land up into something related to research, not working on field much. So it's depending on their or choices, and where do they stand in life, and what do they want to take.
Correct. So if there are any other questions, please put in the chat box. So I think we are coming towards the end of the questions now. So what are the top 3 takeaways from IIHMR, and what is the advice that you want to give to the present and future students of IIHMR? Vaishnavi.
So the takeaway should be follow your passion, keep learning. I mean to say, at times you want something, I mean to say, but you get something, but still you need to follow your passion, understand what you want, have clear goals. And at a lot of times, you start comparing, uska itna package hai, my package is this, you need to be yourself, understand that, what you want. I mean, say today, you have a long way to go. The career path for each is very different. So understand what you want, keep learning, relearning, be passionate about what you're doing. If you're not passionate, you'll burn out yourself. And IIHMR, I mean, say IIHMR will do its responsibility in grooming you well, but at the end of the day, work hard. It's the, I mean to say, healthcare is like, next big thing, and it's going to be, there are 4 things, I mean to say, that's going to drastically change the economy. That is health tech, fintech, EV tech, and agri-tech. So don't miss it out, and you are the future leaders of healthcare delivery systems. So work hard, follow your passion. It's never an end. I mean, say, keep learning and relearning, and do the best.
Thank you very much, ma'am. That is really inspiring. Thank you. Anushri ma'am?
Yeah, I would say the 3 things. The most important to me would be like keeping yourself updated with the things which are going around, the new technologies, the new informations, and the new skills which are going on, current affairs, everything. So you need to get updated, keep on learning, keep on studying, and keep yourself upfront for it. Secondly, the should not leave or lose hopes. I feel somewhere in the point of time you will be challenged. You will be in a career front. You will be challenged, and you will see people doing better than you. But you have to work upon yourself and reach out to them. So that will be the thing. And last of all, I would say making connections is very important. Like LinkedIn is a good scope, yes, but then LinkedIn is just a place where you get to know people. uh, but then the personal contacts which you make, the people you meet and you know about them, and then keep in contact with them and continuing them, is a very important part in professional life. If you know people around you, they will speak up for you. So it's my three takeover ups will be this for you, and all the best for your careers and your professions.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you so much. So there is one more question in the chat box. Joel is asking that what is the role of healthcare consultant in healthcare IT field, like in ZS Associate, Deloitte, etc. What do they actually do? Anybody can, Vaishnavi ma'am?
In terms of healthcare consulting, what exactly, they take up different projects. Okay, typically, whatever I have seen in the industry, whatever I know as of now, generally these people, like PwC, especially PwC, take a lot of people who have been in the hospital operations for quite some time, and they give and they have some projects that they take up, like operate in terms of a lot of travel associated with that. Niti Aayog, Ayushman Bharat, all these are the projects that ENY is taking up right now. And like molecular biology projects, they take up certain projects, and they do it for the industry, market strategy, market research. These are the kind of healthcare consulting projects that are there. Typically, whatever I have seen, they take people from who have already worked in that domains, and then they get into healthcare consulting.
Okay.
Rather than freshers. That's what I have, that has been my experience. But I don't know what else is happening in the industry, but this has been my experience till date.
Okay. I think that answers I think all of the questions we have answered from the chat box as well. So this brings me to the end. So I would like to express my gratitude to all the esteemed delegates, both of you. Thank you for sparing your important, valuable time for us and making contribution to this Masterstroke event. So extending my sincere gratitude to IIHMR as well for arranging this beautiful event. We got to know a lot of things, and I'm sure Anushri ma'am, Vaishnavi ma'am, your LinkedIn is going to be flooded today with lot of requests. They are going to try to connect to you. So I hope we can meet, off the online webinar as well. So
Sure.
thank you everybody for joining today. Stay safe, stay home, and enjoy your weekends. Thank you very much, ma'am, once again.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you a lot. Thanks a lot for giving us the opportunity to be a part of this session. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a great